Hi and welcome to the Cult TV Sofa. This is a reaction video for the 9th episode of Season 1 of WandaVision, and you can now check out the full reaction for this video on my new Patreon channel, links in the description below. Last time we saw some of Agatha's history and discovered that she was a witch in Salem back in 1693. She broke the rules of a coven and the other members tried to take out Retribution, but Agatha's powers were too great for their combined might. Fast forward to where we left them, and Agatha takes Wanda through some key parts of her life to see how she got her immense powers. We saw that when she was little, her family used to love watching US sitcoms, which is why the episodes for the show took the format that they did. When their flat was bombed in Sokovia, the bomb didn't go off, and Agatha implied that Wanda stopped it using magic. We then moved on when Hydra experimented on her, and we saw the Mind Stone enhance her natural abilities. After the tragedy of her parents dying, we then saw her after her brother had died. Vision was there to comfort her, and this is where their feelings for each other began. We then jumped to after Vision's death, and she went to Sword headquarters to retrieve his body. She was able to see him, but then left, not taking his body as we originally were told by the director. She then drove to Westview to see the plot of land that Vision had bought for them both to grow old together. In her grief, she created the house, changed Westview, and created Vision out of nothing, which brought us to the beginning of the series. Outside, Agatha had both of Wanda's sons hostages, and she exclaimed that Wanda was using chaos magic and that she was the Scarlet Witch. We also saw that the director bring a rebuilt but obviously different Vision online to go through the barrier. So let's see what happens in this final episode. I'm going to put any relevant trivia that I find over here, and at the end of the reaction I'll be discussing what happened and my thoughts about it. And I'm going to start it in 3, 2, 1.
Previously on WandaVision.
So yeah, we didn't see either of them last episode. Or Vision. Well, the Vision we've seen.
He isn't yours. He's ours.
I wonder what the stone is then. I'll have some information on the budget in the episode for this one, I think. But I have a feeling there might be a big bit of budget on this final episode.
My powers work out here, or did you forget?
No, dear. I'm counting on it.
Wow. Ooh.
Go to your room.
Why was she counting on it? So she wanted samples of her power. Okay, so she's even draining Wanda.
What do you say?
Behind you? Oh, Wanda's hand is damaged. That looks like a permanent damage. Ah, that's very Wizard of Oz. Seeing the feet of the witch. Oh. Can she tell the difference? Well, there's two differences. One, can she tell that is the physical body of the original Vision? And then two, can she tell if it's Vision or not, or something else? It would be nice to have seen him going through the barrier. It's a bit annoying that he's just appeared.
Wanda.
No. Yeah.
Your ex and your boyfriend together at the same party. Who are you going to choose, Wanda?
I think it's an easy choice because when she visited the Sword headquarters, she determined that she couldn't sense Vision in there. She knew that in his original body he was gone, and from what I can see, obviously that might contradict itself and change in a minute, but or during this episode, she recreated Vision exactly. he is her vision. So yeah, the white vision out, the other vision in. That's good.
No one can hear you from in here.
So what, they trapped in there? Has Agatha trapped them? Oh, he's trapped her. He's been controlled by Agatha. So he's got the same abilities, even without the Mind Stone? Also, how high does the barrier go? Because they were flying pretty high then and seemed to be still contained within it. But I said this in the comments in the video after the video last week. The white vision shouldn't be able to win. Yes, he's had a boost from Wanda's power, but it was just a bit of her power. Surely he shouldn't be as powerful as the vision that we've now seen in the episodes with a Mind Stone in. There's no way he should be able to win. And also, how is he able to phase? Because again, I would have thought it would be the Mind Stone that would allow him to phase through things. I just don't think the abilities would be the same, and I don't think he'd be powered as long either.
They'll thank me for recovering such a valuable
Wow,
asset.
that's a huge cover-up.
If only you had a little more...
Vision.
My friends at Quantico will probably have something to say about your plan when they arrive inside the hour.
You're bluffing.
He's been away for quite a while. There's plenty of time to organise things. Jimmy MacGyver, woo.
Flourish.
Flourish. It's a bit of a magic thing, escape artist.
I've got a situation and I was hoping you could get here inside the hour.
So you can prove me right? No one noticed her flying down. So that implies they're all still under control.
It's an entire chapter devoted to you in the Darkhold. That's the Book of the Damned. Your power exceeds that of the Sorcerer Supreme.
Doctor Strange. Which does beg the question, if Agatha picked up all this and sensed the powers and everything, why didn't Doctor Strange? Surely he would have picked up on all of this going on in Westview, and he would have come to investigate as well. Obviously, possibly still might. It might be see a cameo, but yeah, that doesn't quite make sense if he doesn't.
She's your meat puppet. I just cut her strings.
Yeah, Agatha's fingers are black.
You're Ralph Boner?
Okay, so that implies it's a complete coincidence. He looks the way he looks. He's nothing to do whatsoever with the X-Men universe or that version of Pietro that we've seen, which is a bit annoying, if I'm honest. Just using his image like that for such a big character, and when there could be such a huge link that could bring everything together, that's if there's not something else, I'm going to be quite disappointed with that. How can we power in all this? You need the Mind Stone to do all this, to have these abilities. I think she's going to see what she's doing and she'll release them all. Everything. Including the illusion.
Heroes don't torture people.
Oh, is she releasing the... It's one thing to let them go, but is she releasing the barrier? What about Vision?
Go! All of you, now, go!
Ah. She's just raising it a bit to let them all out. Oh, is he weakening because the barrier's coming down? Yeah. You can see all the bits coming off him.
Now do you see
Oh, and the boys as well.
the other?
Oh, that's horrible.
Save Westview or save your family.
How can this end? The barrier can't stay up forever. So what's going to happen with Vision and the kids? Oh, and they're going to attack Wanda because they think she's the bad guy? Have they not seen Agatha?
Your mother and I never really prepared you for this.
But you were born for it.
My programming directive is to destroy the Vision.
So it's literally this computer program. No emotions, nothing. No personality.
But I'm not the true Vision. Only a conditional Vision.
He's the true Vision. Huh.
I request elaboration.
He's beating him with logic.
Boys, handle the military. Mommy will be right back.
God, he actually tried to shoot the boys.
Nice tricks.
Same for you. Yeah. So you're going to drive at them. Oh! Took her time, but she got there eventually.
Have fun in prison.
You are familiar with the thought experiment, the ship of Theseus in the field of identity metaphysics.
Oh, yeah.
Over time, its planks of wood rot and are replaced with new planks. When no original plank remains, is it still the ship of Theseus?
That's a good point. So basically saying you've got a ship, I can't recall it, but if you, as the ship gets older, they replace all the different parts of the ship. If after a long period of time they've replaced every single part of that ship with a new replacement, is it still the same ship? Yeah. Interested.
Neither is the true ship. Both are the true ship.
Yeah. He is confusing him with logic.
But I do not have the Mind Stone.
And I do not have one single ounce of original material.
Well, that implies that is the Mind Stone then.
Your memory storage is not so easily wiped.
So he's got all the memories of Vision. Got the same mannerisms.
I am Vision.
Which means he's going to destroy himself. Ah, well, that's one of the tricks she did in Age of Ultron. She was sneaking up on people and playing with their mind. More powerful than you thought. They're going to put her on the stake instead.
Power isn't your problem, it's knowledge.
Ah, it's a headpiece sort of shape. I said a few episodes ago that last episode that her mother, when she was using all her enhanced powers, it seemed to come from her head. It was that her head glowed the same way as Wanda's seems to be coming from her head now as well. Don't know. That just seems a bit of a coincidence. It really stood out to me in that episode. So it's weird that they're doing it with Wanda now. Or was that just where magic comes from the mind?
Take it. I don't want it.
You don't want her to have it though. She's just giving her too much. She'll be able to handle it.
I want it all!
Oh, it's completely draining her. Why isn't it working? I know that was Wanda's plan, but I don't understand why. Runes. She's cast runes so that only her magic works, Agatha's doesn't?
In a given space, only the witch who cast them can use her magic. Thanks for the lesson.
Why is she flying? Surely it's her magic that's making her fly. So if she can't use her magic, she would be plummeting to the ground at the moment. Agatha. So that's kind of how we saw her in the Mind Stone when she got the stone gave her powers. Boost powers.
Oh, God. You don't know what you've done.
What has she done? The effects have been really good in this episode. I think I was right. A lot of the budget went on this episode.
Just gonna lock me up somewhere?
Here.
Wipe her mind?
You have no idea what you've unleashed. You're gonna need me.
If I do.
I know where you are.
I know where to find you.
Wait. Say, that's some kind of getup you're wearing.
It's a cool costume.
Should we head home?
She's going to keep the barrier around the house? Or is she going to let them go?
Your mother and I,
She's going to let them go.
very proud of you both.
Good night, Mom.
I've got a horrible feeling it's going to go to sleep and she's going to... It's going to disappear. Oh. The barrier is constricting on them. That's really horrible.
What am I?
You, Vision, are the piece of the Mind Stone that lives in me.
So she'll always be with him. With her, sorry.
We'll say hello again.
So long, darling.
I get that it's different this time because she's got to say goodbye, so she has got some closure. But now she's just lost her children as well as him again. That's still pretty horrible, and it's still surely going to mess with her mind. That's quite a horrible ending. I know it's not the ending yet, but I don't know. I'll say the difference is she's had closure. She's not going to be too popular, understandably.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
It wouldn't change how they see me.
She's right.
Goodbye, Monica.
She's
Bye, Wanda.
kind of be on the run now, isn't she? She is kind of classified as an enemy, really, now. What happened to the White Vision? We didn't see what happened to him. So Agatha's not dead or gone. She's just kind of been put on hold for the time being. So we might see her again in the future in films. She obviously knows a lot more than Wanda does. And specifically she said that you don't know what you've done, implying that Wanda's done something and caused a change of some kind, which will probably lead into, let's say, Doctor Strange 2 and or the next Spider-Man film. I think she's meant to be, well, she's in Doctor Strange 2, and I think the impact is felt in Spider-Man.
Captain Rambo. They're asking for you in the theater.
I mean, she's surely going to be spending the rest of her life in experimentation and tests on what's happened to her.
I was sent by an old friend of your mother's.
Ah.
He'd like to meet with you.
Where?
I've been making a few notes this time, which I haven't done for a long time on the show. So I'm holding my mouth until we get to the very end. I wonder who the old friend of her mother's was. Is that going to be Nick? Nick Fury. Because last time we saw him, he was on a space station or ship of some kind. That seems most likely. So I think we're going to see Monica again in Captain Marvel 2, I should think. Although I'm not sure when it's set. I'm assuming it kind of catches up to where we are now. It's not set in the past or anything, which would mean she would be able to fit into the film. And you'd need Nick in the film because he's the link between Captain Marvel. So that would all make sense. very wobbly camera work. So she's sort of taken herself into the middle of nowhere where she can't hurt anyone to explore her powers. I don't understand what happened there. Huh. Okay, so she was casting some kind of spell around her, barrier around her, and she was studying that book that Agatha had. So she's learning more magic and more about her powers. And then she heard the boy saying, "Help me," which, as I say, kind of leads into the multiverse kind of thing, I think. But I don't understand why we saw her as herself with the kettle, and then we saw her separately. Unless that is again implying the multiverse kind of thing, that there's multiple versions of her. It was a bit weird. It was good, but I found every episode enjoyable, confusing, and but enjoyable. This is the first one that it's annoyed me a bit. There's a few things that. So, first of all, Vision, the White Vision. What happened to him? I mean, I am assuming his mission was to destroy Vision, and then he discovered that he was Vision, and he realised that, and then he went. I would assume with the intention of destroying himself, because that would complete his mission. But we didn't see anything. He just disappeared, just went. So that was weird. But the thing that's annoyed me the most is Pietro. If it had just been some sort of weird cameo, might be okay. But when Disney have now bought the rights to the X-Men, and we're expecting the X-Men to be brought in somehow into the MCU, and he is specifically the X-Men version of Pietro that we've seen, to suddenly make him not anything to do with that, and it's just a bizarre coincidence that he looks like that version. Feels like a bit of a slap to the fans, to be honest. That's not good. That's I really don't like that. I really, really don't. I honestly thought there was going to be a way of bringing in. Well, yeah, I did think it was going to be a way of bringing in the X-Men initially, but then obviously that diluted a bit as the episodes went on. So even if it wasn't a case of bringing them in, it was at least a nod to the fact that they exist, and that's not even that. It's just a joke, basically, and that's really annoying. It's such a big thing for the X-Men to be introduced into the MCU, because it'll add so much to the films, and there'll be so much more they can do. So that has really annoyed me. I know that there was a thing about the engineer. There was that, Monica was saying, "Oh, I know an engineer friend," and a couple of times. So I know there are rumours online about, could it be Mr. Fantastic? So is it a way of introducing the Fantastic Four, or somebody else? Maybe Hank, again from the X-Men. And then it just turned out to be a woman who had nothing to do with the MCU at all. She's never been in a comic, never been in anything. And I've been trying not to, but I did actually read an article that the director said that, yeah, it was It was just it didn't mean anything. The engineer was no one. It was just a person. Again, that's a bit of a. It's one thing to kind of tease us to get us into the show, but then to pull something like that seems a bit disrespectful to the fans. And although I've seen all the films, I haven't read the comics. I'm not a mega fan in any way, shape, or form. I don't know a lot of the the history in the comics of the characters and things. So, but there are people who do, and I can imagine they're going to be really peed off because I'm disappointed. Yeah, I did think there'd be more of a lead into the films. I mean, assuming that ending does lead into the films, we just don't know how. I still think, and I said it earlier, that a cameo from Doctor Strange would have been good, and it would have made sense because I can't remember exactly how she worded it, but Aga was saying about the Sorcerer Supreme. She mentioned them. Doesn't have to be a him. So she already introduced his character, and as I say, with his abilities, I would have thought he would have sensed what was happening as well as Agatha sensing it. So it just would have made more sense for him to come as well, and say a cameo at the end from him appearing to speak to Wanda would have fitted nicely. And it just seems weird that didn't happen. Just from the story point of view, it seems weird that we didn't see Doctor Strange, because I was thinking naturally he would have been there. So yeah, I'm actually quite disappointed with the final episode, if I'm honest. But yeah, definitely budget-wise, they spent a fortune. I mean, the effects were great. The fight scenes were good. So yeah, it was good from that point of view. Her boys, though, again, seeing them disappear like that, that's another layer of the tragedy that we've seen of her life. And again, she doesn't have. I was going to say she doesn't have vision to help her through it, which is why this all happened in the first place. But at the end, she was saying that the vision that she created was always part of her. It's the part of the created out of the part of the Mind Stone that's in her. So actually, he is always with her and inside her now. And maybe that's what she's realised, and that's what's given her the ability to carry on and to get over her grief, knowing that he is always with her at all times. So there is that. But it's just, if it was just Vision, that's one thing. But there's the kids as well. That's bad. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed. There are just a few plot lines and things that happened that don't sit well with me. I don't think there's going to be a season 2. It doesn't make sense for there to be a season 2 in some ways. This does feel like a very self-contained story, so I'd be surprised if there is one. I think it'll all feed into the film, so we'll see it all there now. But so yeah, I think that's probably it for this. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I am going to be watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I'm not going to be reacting to it. I just don't have the time to fit it in. But if you sign up to my Patreon, I'll certainly be in my Discord server, be having discussions about it and talking about what's going on. So yeah, obviously sign up to Patreon and might see you in the Discord server. So yeah, let me know what you thought below or in Discord, and I shall see you for the next videos. Be seeing you.